want to make a sincere apology to the people of New Orleans. The mistaken release of Khalil Bryan was a serious error, and as sheriff, I take full responsibility.
Another Orleans Parish inmate is at large, and this time he was released by accident.
Well, we just brought you breaking news from the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, and Police Chief Investigative Reporter Mike Pearlstein was there at the news conference, joining us now live with the latest on what happened. I feel like there's still so many questions, Mike.
Well, we got at least some of those questions answered just now at the press conference that included Police Chief Ann Kirkpatrick as well as Sheriff Susan Hutson. They said that an inmate, a 30-year-old Khalil Bryan, was mistakenly released. The sheriff described it as a human error and a basically systems breakdown. She did not give a specific time that he was mistakenly released, but she did say that there was another inmate with a similar or the same last name who was supposed to be released, and that some deputy or deputies on duty made the error. She apologized. The police chief, as well as Susan Hutson, expressed that their top priority now is to get the information out to the public so that this 30-year-old inmate could be recaptured. They listed the charges for which he was being held already, as well as a warrant on some violent crimes that should have kept him held, as well as a warrant out of Jefferson Parish. Here's what Sheriff Hutson had to say at the press conference.
This release did not occur under NOPD's jurisdiction, but we are a team. We are a law enforcement community that works together in partnership, and so we will remain in partnership with the rest of our law enforcement community. And I do want to make an appeal to Mr. Bryan. Even though it was a mistaken release from custody, you are on notice, you are a fugitive. I'm going to ask that you turn yourself in. You and others who may be harboring him at this moment will be subject to prosecution yourself because you are on notice.
There are controls in place, and this was definitely a human error, so we know that. The folks who were on duty will be called in to be questioned. That's going on right now. We'll find out exactly what did happen because we don't know until we talk to them. We know that there were similar last names. That's all that we know. And as soon as we find out exactly what happened, we will alert.
Now, you also heard from Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick. They indicated that the charges for which there was a warrant on which Mr. Bryan was supposed to be held included violent crimes, aggravated assault with a firearm, domestic abuse, home invasion. So they did not only urge Mr. Bryan to turn himself in, but warned that anybody caught helping him would be held accountable as an accomplice. Now, obviously, you heard the sheriff apologize, admit that it was a human error, but we still have some questions that have not been answered, including the time of this release, if any deputies or other jail employees have been disciplined. The sheriff only indicated that an investigation is ongoing, that the staff involved at the time of this mistaken release are being questioned. So we will continue to follow this breaking story. For now, reporting live at police headquarters, Mike Pearlstein, WWL, Louisiana.
I know I have a big question, Mike, about what the internal controls were at the sheriff's office to make sure this doesn't happen, right?
Well, on that one, the sheriff indicated that it's still under investigation, but she mentioned two different elements that went wrong: human error as well as some kind of system control. When I asked specifically if something was immediately put in place to prevent this from happening again, she said, well, we have controls, but they weren't necessarily followed. I don't know what they have built in for redundancy or a backstop to prevent this happening again, but obviously we'll follow the investigation as the sheriff's office bears down on exactly what happened, and also if any deputies or other employees are going to be held accountable with some disciplinary action.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. We appreciate it.
All right, Mike, thank you. And WWL Louisiana was first to break this news of this missing inmate, and we will have continuing coverage of the inmate search. Look for updates on our website, our free smartphone app, and our social media channels.